Welcome back. I'm Karen. This is my good friend Diane, and we are here talking today about a conversation we wanted to have. And here's my question for everybody. When was the last time you were in your body? Are you in your body right now?
It's such a great question, and it's not a question that gets asked very often, right? I started learning how to be in my body when I was introduced to yoga many, many years ago, just taking yoga classes and having to really feel into my feet, that would be the instructions from the instructor and, plant your feet on the ground and as you as I was instructed to be in these poses, it was like feel into your shoulders and in a way that I had never experienced before. But I loved how it felt.
Mm.
And the more that I practiced being in my body in a yoga class, the more I started to release these denser energies that I had been carrying. And so I know when I'm not in my body,
Mm.
when I'm in my head and I'm feeling, perhaps stressed or anxious or overwhelmed, it's a wake-up call for me to get back in my body. When I wake up in the morning, one of the first things I do, I'll rub my hands together. And, this is while I'm laying in bed, I'll raise my hands and just like shake my hands. And then I sit up and I'll rub my feet on the floor to really feel into, okay, here's my feet. Here I am. It's a new day. How am I going to approach this? And I have a practice that I do in the morning, a physical practice where I make sure that I am in my body and
Mm.
connecting with my breath. And that's, for me, that's kind of my firm foundation to not be in my head, not be thinking about how stiff I feel, which I don't, because I don't feel that way anymore. I did at one time in my life, but um, or being on autopilot and waking up and going right, for the cup of coffee.
Mhm.
I really try to set that foundation in the morning so I can keep coming back to it and remembering what that feels like. What about you?
No, beautiful. And this was a big learning journey that I have had to be on about being in my body. I think that um, I don't want to say in a highly spiritual way, right? In a part of my spiritual body and my spiritual work and being an energy intuitive, connecting with people. Like it was very clear for me early on, I needed to be in my body. If I was going to approach any kind of work like that, um, that I wasn't going to be highly successful if I wasn't in my body.
Mhm.
Diane and I both own spiritual businesses. We do intuitive energy work. We're in touch with our psychic senses, empath, like all those beautiful things that we have. We like to call those our superpowers. Like when are they not there, right? When am I sitting in a room like feeling so disconnected from everybody around me when I'm not in my body? And I am a master at flying out of my body. And I've gotten to the point where, oops, I just left. Like I've literally said that in conversation. I just left. Um, and that can come from fear, that can come from I don't want to be in this situation, that can come from I need to disconnect. I need to disconnect. My heart's pounding right now. This is me, like this is my body talking to me. My body's literally like I want to be paid attention to. Am I in my body? Am I feeling myself? um that's a little bit about how here's my favorite one. I love how you talked about waking up in the morning and needing to get in our body. Nighttime, many of us are in our dream spaces and we're having experiences and we're astral traveling and we're leaving our bodies. That's a whole video I can't wait to do, talking about what we're doing in our dream space. needing to come back into our body in the morning, not even just kind of like, oh, I think I'll get back in my body. Like I need to literally come back. I need to come back to this space. I need to come back to everything that is here for me to experience today. How am I going to do that? Like I have to put my feet on the floor, just like you talked about. Um, there's a little bit of like my direction where I go with needing to be in the body and doing that. But I know that you are beautifully can speak to this of like that breath, like how we
Mm.
that breath. I'm going to let you talk about breath and how that works with us being in our body.
Ooh, the breath,
The
that's
breath.
yes, it's just, the breath is this life force energy that we have access to 24/7, 365, and most people don't pay any attention to it. I was teaching a class a couple weeks ago, and one of my students came up to me afterwards, and she said, you were instructing, breathing into your belly. She said, I can't do that. I don't, my doctors talked to me about, or her therapist or somebody has talked to her about, taking some deep breaths. She said, I can't. And I think so many people can't because they're carrying so much stress. They're on autopilot. They're not thinking about their breath, or they're anxious. They're just disconnected from their body, and they're shallow breathing. That's, if you're listening to this, I would love for you to comment. Do you pay any attention to your breath? Are you in your body? Do you know what it means to be in your body? Um, do you know what it means to connect to your breath? When somebody says, take a deep breath, I I worked in a school a few years ago with young children, and I was an assistant teacher. And the teacher I worked with, when the kids were getting a little, you know, out of control, she'd say, okay, take a deep breath. And then she'd move on to the next thing. So
Slow down.
she's instructing the kids to take a deep breath, okay, and everybody calm down. But she had a hard time really understanding what that meant. And when we do consciously breathe, we do come back to the body, come
Mm,
back inside into this vessel. And when I work with clients, and I'm sure when you do too, part of what we're doing is using the breath and working with the breath and using the breath to, okay, bring in this clear crystalline energy into your body and allow it to move through it and release, clear and release any impurities in it. A lot of times I will instruct clients and students to, take a scan of your physical body. Like really, this is just like physical body awareness. Sit with your eyes closed or lay down with your eyes closed, and just, bringing your awareness from the top of your head and moving down into your face, your jaw, your teeth, your neck, and just really tuning in and listening to what's going on in your body. What do you feel? What do you notice? Are you tight? Are you tense? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel tingling? Do you feel
mm.
heat, coolness? Just really getting to know what your body, what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you have gastro issues? Like, what is that trying to tell you? Um, doing this body scan, and then if you do feel pain or places that are tense or tight, imagine that you have a little set of lungs. Like say you have a pain in your shoulder, well, imagine that your lungs are in your shoulder and you can direct your breath
Mm,
right
I
there
love that.
to the shoulders, and then release that pain, allow it to dissolve, because it's just energy. It's all
Yeah.
energy. And we are so powerful. We have the capability to shape shift and change what's not working within and around us. That
Yeah.
kind of got a little off track a bit, but
No, I think it's just such valuable information because I think we're all, on autopilot. We have these physical human bodies. We're on autopilot. I had beautiful exercise I would love to share that
Please.
a lot of people will reach out to me with a question like, what should I do?
Yeah.
Tell me what to do. And what I often will say to them is just like bring that question into your mind, like, and ask your body, right? This body that you're that you have that's breathing and is all around you, and your energy is running through it, and your heart is your guidance center. And I will tell my friends and my clients, and ask yourself, like, put your hands on your heart and take those deep breaths, getting into the body, getting into that now, that quiet moment that you can be right within yourself, and simply repeat the question in your mind. I'm going to ask a question. This is fun. I always ask this particular question. Is coffee, always with the coffee, is the coffee the highest and best for me? Is it the best for me? And then wait and feel into your body. Where did your energy go? Right?
Yeah.
Did you feel it go down into your lower body? Did you feel it sit maybe in your thighs and your seat area? Maybe the energy ran right down to your toes, right? Or did you feel it move up through your heart and lift you up a little bit, right? There's your answer, right?
Mm.
This doesn't feel, I'm feeling it's in my stomach. I'm not quite sure. Or am I feeling like this is supporting me? This feels great. I feel good about this. Using your body is, it's like the perfect tool, and it's
It
available to
is.
us, but you have to be in it,
You
right? You
have to be
have
in
to
it.
be in it. It took me forever to learn that. In fact, I think my kids taught me more than anything else, just getting them to calm down as small children. I don't even know who told me to get them to breathe, but we would breathe together, and I would watch both of us come down. We would be escalated. We're going to breathe. We used to touch our noses. I don't know why. Count to 10. And then we would bring each other down. Our energy would shift, and it was always with the breath.
Yeah.
So simple. It's
So
it's it's
simple.
like coming out of autopilot, right? Be that magical being. Come out of your shell, come out of your hiding, turn your body on,
Mhm.
and use your power, right? Use your power. And like, there's the key. I see, of what I'm seeing is the key going into the engine of the car. Like, that's the key. That's the key to turn it on. The breath.
Mhm. Absolutely. I love that. I love that little exercise.
And by the way, I get a no on coffee.
I do many times. I do love the taste of coffee, and sometimes because there's so many questions, and we have another video we'll link in
Yes.
the description about foods,
Mhm.
what's the right foods, and beverages to drink when you're on this awakening journey. But where was I going with this? Yes, the body, the body being this energetic vessel, it can teach us, and I love that way. And I actually have never heard it described to do it that way. But like,
Mm,
it's kind of like muscle testing, right?
right.
I know for me, it's like I will stand up and either ask or hold something. So it could be, I don't know, like a can of soda. I don't drink soda, but I just saw a can of seltzer on the counter. But a can of soda, and holding it in front of you and asking the same question: Is this is this what my body um, needs and desires right
Yeah.
now, or however you pose the question? And if your body leans forwards,
Hmm.
that's a yes, and if it leans back, that's a no. But you have to be in your body first to do that, because I've had other people uh, do it when they're not in their body, and it doesn't
Work.
work.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, if you do either of those
Yeah.
exercises, just ground yourself first, get in your body, and then ask those questions.
And I was going to just add, like there's that, a lot of us are Reiki activated, or energy activated. A lot of people have gone through that, and your hands, you don't even have to be activated. Your hands can just be
Yeah,
active,
right.
right? And just
It's
get
the
get
intention.
get comfortable with that not that Reiki, that energy in your body, right? So if those hands are active and you're used to putting your hands on other people, use it for yourself. Run your hands over things, like let it talk to you. We're kind of getting, it's interesting, right? So we started talking about breath, and now we're talking about how magical the body is, how powerful we are, but it's all the same, right?
It is.
Celebrate your physical body.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I think you touched on your psychic senses, your psychic
Yes.
abilities, and that's another conversation. But if you have noticing your psychic senses coming online, or you're working with your clair senses, or you want to,
Yes.
or you want to start channeling, or just becoming more spiritually enlightened, you have to be in your body. You have to.
It's almost the journey, right?
It
It's
is.
almost this, it's like such a big part of the spiritual journey is we're bringing the body into it.
And it's also part of the healing journey, because we're so accustomed to numbing out and not
Mm,
connecting to our bodies. But in order to heal and evolve, we have to come inside. We have to pay attention to what's going on and use it for our it's our power center. And it's not something to be dismissed. Um, we have a body, we have a mind. That's not what we are, who we are at our essence. Our essence is a soul, a spirit, and an energy being. But while we're in this physical apparatus, while we're here, evolving and healing, we want it to work for us as best as we can. And so we have to pay attention to what those check engine signals are that our bodies might be telling us.
beautiful. Well, that feels really good to talk about that. I'm feeling better, much more in my body.
In your body, yes.
Yep. And it's important when we're having these conversations that, Diane and I remain in our bodies,
Mhm.
so that we can talk and that we can open and bring forth the information that our guidance and our higher selves are wanting to bring in. It's all part of it.
Yeah,
It is the magic. Yeah.
it is the magic. So here's an invitation as we close. Um, because if you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't know if I'm in my body or not, well, if you're sitting down, see if you can, it might be easier to close your eyes and sense your body and the connection point between your body and the surface that you're sitting on. And just notice, and also your feet, if your feet are on the ground, whether if you're barefoot or your feet are in shoes, maybe just lift and spread your toes, and then kind of plant them back down and notice that connection point between the soles of your feet and the support underneath it. And just take some breaths. Just feel into, maybe you're leaning up against a couch or a chair. Feel your back against that support. And just take some deep breaths, bringing that breath in, bringing that fresh energy in that's here to wake us up.
And my third eye comes online, right? It's instantly like, whoa. Like I love that. Thank you so much, Diane.
Yes. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And if you're looking for an energetic experience, whether that's mentorship, guidance, intuitive guidance, channeled messaging, or a healing experience with Karen and I, we would love the opportunity to work with you. There's a link in our description on how you can book an appointment with us. Or if you feel called to work with us as individuals, we would love that as well. Please comment, share, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.